Creating evergreen content that can be reused and repurposed should be the goal of every business owner. Today, I'm going to show you how to take your content and turn it into an online course quickly and easily using GoHighLevel. Recently, I hosted a 3-day challenge for new users to GoHighLevel. This has become popular or common thing to do, these challenges in recent months, where whatever it is that you specialize in, that you offer, you break it down into, say, a 2-day, 3-day, 5-day challenge. And you invite people to join you, typically live, but it could be pre-recorded. Or you could do what I did and you could offer it live, record those sessions, and then turn them into an online course so that you can deliver it pre-recorded or even in tandem with your next live version of your challenge. Because every time you deliver something, you might change it up a little bit or customize it for the audience. So having that pre-recorded version that people can also access, sort of a 2-for-1, doesn't hurt either. So what I'm going to do today is show you how to take that pre-recorded information, whether it be just a speaking topic that you deliver, whether it be a challenge, whether it be a small course that you've created, turn it into an online course that you can repurpose, resell, even give away in your membership communities in pieces or in whole using GoHighLevel. So let's dive in and take a look. Here I am inside of GoHighLevel, or better yet, our version, our agency, which is called Marketecs Engine. On the left-hand menu, I'm going to come over to memberships. Within memberships, you're going to find both courses and communities. They are separate, but they can also be linked and used together for your offerings. Within courses, I am going to go to products, and this is where you can create your first course. I'm going to create a new course. You can import from Kajabi. So if you're currently a Kajabi user, there is a little bit of a shortcut. I'm going to start from scratch and I'm going to follow the prompts to start creating my course, starting with a course title and then a description. Next, I will upload a thumbnail. Of course, you want to have some of this created ahead of time. Hopefully you already have your images because you potentially did already run this as a full program. You can see how this is coming together and they give a little preview of what it's going to look like. Next, I'm going to go to price. In the pricing, you can title your offer. You can set it up for free, reoccurring, or one-time pricing. I am in a demo account right now, so I don't have payments set up, but all of these options would be available to you in your account. You can do a test mode, set up the frequency. So if this was a drip course, that might be where you offered something that was a payment plan or a monthly subscription and you added new content to this course, or that's probably even a little more common in the groups, which are like membership communities, where you offer new content every week or every month or live calls and have an ongoing subscription. All right, in this case, I'm going to create course. You can see now I'm in the course builder and it started me out with some ideas of what you might want, which in this case is pretty perfect. I am going to do some sort of a welcome message. Lesson 1 will be day 1, lesson 2 will be day 2, lesson 3, day 3, and then probably a what's next? What should you do after you complete this challenge? Because it is only 3 days and we know that there's a lot more to GoHighLevel than that. And then you can actually create certifications or badges. There's different options here for the course completion. Within each one of these, you'll notice when you hover over, you get an edit, a delete, you can add content, you can also switch it to draft or the drip mode. And there's even some locked features, some advanced things. You have to complete this before you can get access to this. So if we start with just the edit portion, the title of this will say 3-day challenge. And again, you could paste your description here. We can upload an image for the, and then save. We can do some previews here. For the welcome, again, we'll click edit. You would change your content here. This is what somebody's going to see on the page. You have a lesson thumbnail and you can add media. So your media would be your video recording. Depending on how long your video is, depends on your upload time. The lesson name, I might say start here. And for the instructions, I'm going to tell them what to expect out of this course. An example for me is welcome to the challenge. This is what will show up on this page. and you'll find 3 videos. They're all less than 90 minutes. So I'm just giving them the overall agenda. And then I do actually have a general walkthrough that I want them to do before day one. That's why this is the welcome message. I also give them a couple other links that they might want to take a look at. When you're adding media, you have the option of upload from device. You can import from a link. And you can embed a video using iframes. So you have a couple different options for adding media here. I do recommend lesson thumbnails in all of these. It just makes it a lot easier to view things in your course as you're navigating. And I do just take the initial thumbnail and update it so that everything has the same look and feel, but it matches the content in that particular section. For the initial welcome, I don't necessarily have an overview video because I do a welcome on day one. I have all the description of what they should do, and then the item for them is an actual walkthrough of Marketecs Engine. It's a quick 15-minute video to give them an overview before we start day one. So those are the changes I want to make to the initial start here or welcome message. I'm going to click save, and you can see that welcome aboard changed to start here, and this is published. Now I'm going to go into lesson 1, where I want to upload my day 1 content. This video is over an hour, so it is going to take a little while to upload. While that's uploading, we'll take a look at the rest of the content. The title for me is going to be Day 1 Foundation. And then for the description, I'm just going to select this default content, delete, and paste in the description that I had already pre-designed. This talks specifically about the day 1 content, the day 1 activities, and then post activities that they should do after watching the video. You'll notice here I embedded the video within the content down below here too, which is a 4th option on how you can add content here. You do have the upload from device. You could use a link, embed from a URL, or put content right here. Now, with most of my lessons, we also have additional resources. In addition to uploading the thumbnail, I also can upload PDFs or resources. We're going to go ahead and do that for these lessons. There's my day 1 thumbnail. And then I'm giving them my slides to go along with that. So that will be a PDF that they can access. I'm going to click save. Now this is still uploading. And like I said, it is going to take a while if you want to upload long videos. So that's where this embedding option is another good option. Okay, so it took a few minutes to upload the video. It was a little over an hour. I think it was an hour and 15 minutes. It took about 8 minutes to upload. It's still processing. For that reason, with day 2 and 3, for the purposes of this training, I probably won't upload the remainder of the videos, but I just wanted to give you an idea of what that was going to look like and also the timing around it if you chose to upload longer videos to your courses. This is still processing and transcoding and all that stuff. Again, what I did was upload the video directly from my computer. So this is not the YouTube version. The one that I embedded here, which is another option that takes seconds, is actually the YouTube version. For this one, you just use the embed media option. You put in the URL for your YouTube video and you click save, and it's that simple. So for those longer videos, sometimes that is just a little bit easier. You'll notice here with the transcoding process, we can actually close this window, which before we couldn't. I'm going to take advantage of that piece and move on to day 2. For day 2, I'm not going to upload the media. I changed the lesson name. I do have the embedded version of the day 2 video, as well as the day 2 instructions and homework and follow up. Now, I could have broken these into 2 lessons. I could have broken it into day 2 content and then day 2 follow up homework or additional resources, and made this actually look a little more in depth, or dripped it out even, where day 1 comes out in the morning and then the day 1 resources come out in the afternoon, day 2 in the morning on day 2 resources in the afternoon. So there's lots of ways that you could structure this course. I have just chosen to keep it shorter, a little bit tighter in this case, where day 1 is all together, day 2 is all together. There's really going to be 5 lessons in this short course. The overall selling point of this course is that it's supposed to be quick and simple. And that's really what you want to think about when you're building your courses, is the type of value that you're trying to bring with that particular content. All right, next I'm going to do the lesson thumbnail and the resources, just like I did for the previous day. And now I have my content, my lesson name, the thumbnail, as well as attachments. You can add multiple attachments. You can actually put links right in the content too. So if you have links to particular assessments that you want people to take, which are maybe on a different page or part of a different funnel, you can link to them right here. These happen to be articles and videos that I'm linking out to. Now I have 3 of my 5 lessons complete in a very short amount of time. Now we're going to move on to day 3, and I'm going to populate that content quickly. All right, so I've got my day 3 lesson name, my day 3 content, which is what we're going to be covering, as well as the homework for day 3. Now I'm going to add my lesson thumbnails, as well as downloadable resources, which in this case is just my slides. I am keeping this simple and not adding a lot of content because I want it to be easy to consume.
I'm interrupting this video to make sure there's no confusion about HighLevel or about how to work with me. If you want to try HighLevel but don't want to waste months trying to figure it out, I have 2 very clear options for you to consider. If you're looking to build an agency or a SaaS business, head over to marketecs.com/HighLevel. By using our affiliate link, which costs you nothing, you will get the following bonuses. Our Marketecs Engine Core Snapshot. This is all of the features that we install in every new Marketecs Engine user account, and we're giving it to you for free as an affiliate. Our onboarding guides and access to our private community, an invitation to join our weekly live office hours where I will answer questions and share tips that I've learned throughout the week. And I'm constantly learning. There is so many new features and things to learn in this industry as a whole, not to mention within the HighLevel platform. Plus, we'll give you our additional templates, checklists, and a migration guide. That's option number 1. Option 2 is if you are a business owner looking to improve your tech stack and you don't want to do it alone. You would like a trusted strategic partner that speaks the language, brings you time-tested automations, proven strategies, and up-to-date learning. Then go to marketexengine.com and book a consultation with me to learn more about our HighLevel agency, Marketecs Engine, and joining our ecosystem. I'm currently offering discounts on one-on-one consulting to our affiliates and HighLevel users. So whether you're building an agency or a business, pick your path and let's drive results. Now, back to your regularly scheduled programming.
So often HighLevel can feel a little overwhelming. The entire purpose of this 3-day challenge is to make it simple. Okay, so we've got our start. We have our day 1, we have our day 2, we have our day 3, and then I like to do a what's next or what we recommend at the end of a course. In our final lesson, it's a congratulations, here's what you've accomplished. And then we have a bunch of links to resources and recommendations on how you can get more support. And even for these, I do lesson thumbnails as well. I think having each lesson with its own imagery really helps the overall course look better. We're going to click save, and now we're going to preview our course here. Next, I'm going back to the 3-day challenge. You can see there's still some more customization you could do to the course, but this is how it looks without any customization at all. It's still completely usable. And you can see where I put those thumbnails in, and it really helps give it that visual of what you're working on. You've got the Start Here challenge. Then from the navigation, I can actually move directly to day 1. And you can see the day 1 video did populate while we were building out the rest of our course. So this is what it looks like if you upload your media versus if you embed your media within the content, which does take a lot less time, but you may not love the looks of it quite as much. You can see the files that I uploaded for each one. I can still edit my instructor name and all that information, and we'll go over that in just a minute. You can see all the content here. There are comments people can make, and then they can mark it as complete when they're done. Now, if we look at day 2 in comparison, this was where I only put the embedded media. I did not upload. So you can see how that looks. It's not terrible if you have really long videos. It's definitely an option to set up your course a little faster. Or if you know that these are just version 1 of the video and you're going to make other versions, maybe you don't want to take the time to upload those. So there's our preview. All right, let's go back to our course. Let's close this out and look at the editing options within our course. We're in our outline, and that's where we were building our course. Now we're going to come into details, and this is where you're going to see the stuff we set up in that initial walkthrough, in those initial prompts. You can see here that we did our title, we did our description, we did have that course thumbnail, but there's a few more things now that you can actually edit. This is where you would put in your instructor name and title. And then you could even give yourself a quick bio if you would like. Upload a headshot, and it does give you the dimensions here, so you can see they're looking for a square headshot. And then you can add logo and favicon images. The favicon is the little icon that shows up right up at the top here. So you would add those in, and then under advanced, you're going to have the option for tracking codes, JavaScript, and custom CSS. When you're done with all your edits, we click save. If I refresh this page on our preview, we will see now that the instructor information is in there. I didn't put in a long bio, so it's really just my name and marketing automator is showing up there. But that just fills in that little bit of information. So now we went to outline details. Now we're in customization. And this is where you could browse other templates. So what we're looking at here is basically a template where we have the navigation on the right, where the files show up, where the instructor shows up, how the content looks, these breadcrumbs. This is all part of this theme. And so you could browse and choose a different theme if you would like. Let's apply this one real quick here. There are options to customize some and not others. If we do that and then refresh, we'll see how that changes our layout. You can see here that this looks quite a bit differently, where everything is just moved around that quickly by choosing a different theme. And there's not a ton of themes in here. You do have a little bit of differences, and some of them include whether the font is in all caps in certain areas and not. So you really want to take a look, click apply, look at the preview. Do I like it? Are the things I don't like customizable or not? You can create other templates as well. You can definitely play around with those. To be honest, I think I preferred this classic theme. And then from here, there are options to customize a few things. When you open up the customization, you're going to see that yellow pencil background. We can put different backgrounds. We can put different headers under sections as well. That's where you're going to find that background. And then here's where you're going to find your hero background. You can change your fonts. You can change your colors. So you can do a lot of customizing if you really want to spend the time to do this. But looking at this, this is a functional course. You do not have to go through these steps of customizing everything unless you truly want to, but you do have these options. We're not going to spend too much time on the customizing. Then we get to offers, and this is where you can create an offer that says you want to sell your 3-day course. You can give it a price if you have price connected. This was the offers that we were building when we were first starting up our course. It said, what kind of offer do you want? And we only set up a free. So you can set up more offers here and then be able to direct people just to the course, not have to go through the membership communities. You can find all your comments on your course here. And then you can find the credentials and you can edit these if you want to provide a certificate for your particular course. And you can see certificates and badges are actually lumped together a little bit, and we can customize those as well. You would connect it to your community if you want it to show up in your learning portals. When somebody signs into your community, they have discussions, they have events, and then there's a learning section. If you want this course to show up in the learning section within your community, which is quite often the way I see our clients using it, I'm going to go back out here and you will see in my list of products, I now have my 3-day challenge. So you can get it started, make some edits, come back to it at another time just by clicking on it here. Let's say you do decide you want to break out day 1 into pre and post activities or some sort of assessment after day 1, or maybe you want to add an assessment after day 3. You could simply add content right here. And this is where you can add modules or a submodule. You've got lessons. You can pre-build quizzes and assessments in here as well. This is the course builder. I highly recommend you explore this with your content that you currently have. Like I said, speaking topics can easily be converted into courses, and so can lead magnets. Quite honestly, I created this 3-day challenge as a lead magnet, as a way to help people with their onboarding and getting their accounts set up. And now I'm going to convert it into something that can be accessed as a course. I hope this walkthrough of the course builder was helpful. I hope it gave you some ideas on how you might take your content and convert it into online learning, because you now have a platform able to do that. You have a way to easily build that out. You can also customize it with all of your own branding. You can do as little or as much customization as you like, and then be able to sell them as one-offs, offer them for free as lead magnets, or add them to your online community. That just continues to add increased value to the people that are already in your community. For our Marketecs Engine users, I delivered this 3-day implementation challenge, And then I took those recordings and I did give them to our community members. Even if they already have some of that stuff set up, just the fact that I'm giving them over 3 hours worth of content where I walked people through how to set up their accounts, best practices, that's very valuable. Why not share that with the people that are already in your community? Why not give that to the people that are already following you, those people that are already invested in your brand and what you have to offer? This is how I like to repurpose content. I also like to break videos up into mini sessions and turn them into one-off lead magnets. Get day one just as this piece, get day two just as this piece. There's lots of ways to reuse and repurpose content. Creating online courses is just one of them, and high level is a great delivery method. So if this video was helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Check out the links in the description because we do have some great bonus offers if you're not already a high level user, or if you're interested in joining Marketecs Engine, we would love to have you. Thanks.